Hello and welcome to week 6 in the ARCA IRP series. We are at IRP after a great week at Atlanta. I think the only important settings here are my 63% on the brake bias. Want to get some turn on the entry. I'm going to be running a diamond line on each side on the first seam here. It's a track where I think there's a lot of time to find if you practice. Practice really pays off here. Probably looking for about a 7 most of the time, even though a 6 is possible. Running a 6 is like really hard and pretty risky. It's kind of like Atlanta, you know, you could run a 0, I think, most of the time, but running a 1 was good enough for the pole pretty much every race. Similar situation here. We want all the heat we can get into our tires before the second lap. So just don't slide them around, but run this high line as hard as you can. Just be careful not to get in the wall. I do that quite often here. Luckily, doesn't usually damage the car hard. So here's the run-up. Talk more about all these marks and braking in the far chase. Oh my god, and we did run a 6. Okay, that was a much better lap than I expected. Okay, we'll do the far chase and we'll talk about some of my thoughts when I'm driving around here. Starting with the run-up. So, run-up, you just start by running this high line here. And then it's not until right when I start getting to this red signage, I want to start turning down, straightening out the turn so I can get on the gas really hard. So make sure you get slowed down by then so you can turn down and get into the throttle. Looking for high 120s at the line. Looks like we get 128. You can get almost to 130. I've hit like 129.5 before when I've looked at the Garage 61. So a little bit of time there, but not a bad run up at all. And then braking pretty late and hard into this first seam here. Each side I'm running the first seam, and then I want to diamond up a lane and a half in the middle of the turn. See about 33%, 30% brake pressure. And it's right when I get to this red again is when I want to start picking up the throttle lightly and turning down. You can bully and manhandle the ARCA car in the middle of the turns on short tracks pretty well, and that's what you want to do here to maximize your time. You know, I'm really putting in a decent amount of wheel input to get this nose turned as I'm getting into the gas. Qualifying the car can take it. A little bit of abuse. Same exact thing in this turn. It's really copy and paste. First seam, diamond up a lane and a half, bully the car in the middle, get it turned, get into the throttle. Might have to counter steer off the turns a bit. It's a little loose getting off, but it's not bad. It's nothing like South Boston or Linear where getting off the turn was a little sketchy. There's the rear end gets a little squirrely here, but a lot less so than those tracks. So there's time to find off the corner and there's time to find into the corner. I think you could drive it a little bit harder in than you think. You could bully the center and you can get off faster than you might think initially too. So a lot of time to find here with practice. I definitely recommend putting in a good amount of laps if you really want to get your time down here. I think I started in the 8s, and at that time I thought, wow, that's pretty good. I think there's not much left in it. Sorry, my kid is having a lot of fun. And gone all the way down to the low 6s at my fastest. I might release like an optimize lap later on, but I don't know how, you know, realistic it is to hit a low 6 in qualifying. It's kind of like Atlanta, like I was saying earlier. I think most people were probably capable of 0, but a 1 most of the time got you the pole, so you could be, you know, conservative and not worry about spinning out or hitting the wall. I think that's all I have for you guys. Hopefully this is a fun week. I love this track so far. Um, honestly, it feels about as good as Nashville Fairgrounds, which is one of my all-time favorites in this car. So hopefully it is. Hope to see you guys out there on track with me on the front row, and I'll see you next time.